You know what really grinds my gears? The fact there are certain things on the internet that just make your blood boil. I mean, it's one thing to see clickbait titles or pointless drama, but when I see people exploiting their own kids for views and money, that's when I lose my entire sanity. And that brings me to one of the most infamous examples of this, DaddyOFive. If you've been lucky enough to avoid this train wreck, let me give you the rundown. DaddyOFive was a YouTube channel run by Mike and Heather Martin, a couple who somehow thought it was a good idea to publicly humiliate and torment their own kids, all for the sake of views, likes, and that sweet ad revenue. At first glance, you might think, oh, it's just harmless pranks. Everybody does it on YouTube, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. What these people did went beyond pranks, it was psychological and emotional abuse, plain and simple. Let's talk about Cody, the kid who seemed to bear the brunt of this so-called pranking. All his so-called pranks were casted onto him at only 9 years old. Imagine being 9 years old and every day is absolute hell because your parents decided that your suffering is their ticket to internet fame. They would scream at him, blame him for things he didn't do, and even encouraged the other kids to join in on the bullying. All of this while filming his tears, his fear, his anger, and then slapping it up on YouTube for millions of people to see. And the worst part? People actually watched this crap. They subscribed, they liked, they commented. They were entertained by a child's misery. I mean, what kind of sick society are we living in where this is okay? But you know what really pisses me off? The parents' response when they were finally called out. When the backlash hit, when people started to see these pranks for what they really were, child abuse. They didn't immediately apologize. No, they doubled down, claiming it was all fake, that the kids were in on it. Yeah, because a then 9-year-old is totally capable of giving informed consent to be emotionally scarred for life. Eventually, the authorities stepped in, and Cody and his sister Emma were removed from the home and placed with their biological mother. Only then did Mike and Heather start with the crocodile tears, apologizing and trying to paint themselves as victims of a misunderstanding. Oh, for God's sake, the only victims here were the kids, who are going to carry the scars of this twisted circus for the rest of their lives. And let's not forget the wider impact. This wasn't just a case of one family going off the rails. This was a glaring example of how toxic the family vlogging culture can be. You've got parents out there who see their children not as human beings to be cared for and protected, but as characters in their never-ending quest for online fame. It's just plain disgusting. You know what? Maybe we need to start rethinking this whole family vlogging thing. When the pursuit of views leads to kids being traumatized, it's time to pull the plug. Because no amount of ad revenue is worth a child's well-being. So yeah, DaddyOFive, a cautionary tale of how far some people will go for internet clout. Let's remember what happened here and make sure it never happens again. These aren't just pranks. This isn't just content. This is real life, with real consequences, and we need to stop letting this kind of exploitation slide. Alright, that's all I've got to say about that. If you're as outraged as I am, make sure to spread the word and keep calling out this kind of garbage whenever you see it. We've got to do better, for the sake of the kids.